friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy on this Thursday after election day, Thursday day after the election day, Thursday of the Tuesday of the election day. I feel like I'm just counting the days now. Like, what is it? T minus 2 days since election day. T plus 2 days. Holy shit, it's been a weird effing week. Like I've talked about with you guys before, when politics are the most important thing on our planet, or at least in this country, that's what we talk about on this show. We will be talking about all different kinds of things, including, yes, entertainment as well, because I do believe that for the last 48 hours, when you feel like you're on the verge of having a fucking heart attack, watching television and movies is why entertainment matters so much, at least for me in my life, is the thing that's getting me through. So I've been watching things. I've been listening to old school music or like some throwbacks. We're going to be talking about pop culture. We're going to be talking about the election. We're going to be giving updates. And I'm going to be hearing from you guys in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, in the super chat, which is just right here. You're already here. And also, if you are watching this live, then you know this at this point because you probably have tuned in before. Brett Hankinson, Miles Cosgrove, Jonathan Mackley, arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor for killing Breonna Taylor, all three of them. We're going to continue to say that until some kind of justice is served, because absolutely none has been served so far. Thank you to everybody tuning in. If you are watching live, then you know that I'm going up a little bit late. Why am I going up a little bit late? Because today has been slammed for me. I feel lucky to have so much work during this time in terms of like, I just have so much I'm doing that those are good distractions, but also I feel like I'm not performing as well because I'm so fucking distracted. Because how can you not be? What do you guys think about this during this time? And I have friends who have different thoughts on this, and I wanted to throw this question out there to you guys. Do you feel like it's appropriate to ask people to do things right now? Or do you feel like when we are in the middle of this election that you can't really ask your friends for favors, you can't really like require the people who work under you to do things to the same performance level or extent? Is this a bad time to reach out to people for things that you need? And should we just let people be their anxiety-ridden selves during this time? I saw a lot of my friends post on social media being like, so frustrated with work that's asking me to do this additional project this week. Don't they know what's going on? Or things like that. For me, I'm kind of under for me, it kind of feels like it's tough because life goes on no matter what happens. You know, our whole country is waiting on this news, but it doesn't mean life stops. So like, I still have to deliver on projects. I still have to show up for my friends. I still have to be there for my family. I still want to do all of those things. But I just don't know that I'm doing them excellently because I'm not sleeping. I'm fucking distracted. I've had 4,000 cookies in the last couple of days. I'm not working out. I'm sweating like a fucking pig. It's hard to even fucking shower, which I have been doing because I'm sweating like a pig. I have no makeup on, like all the things. And so, yeah. Jake Yakavetta, our amazing moderator, 4,000 cookies, said Martin. Jake said, shit, I got assigned 2 new projects today. Work isn't slowing down for me. Slowing down for anything for me. I know. Me too. Like, people just keep asking me to like do this, do that. And like, I think it's kind of a good distraction, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to figure out what is a legitimate ask, what is not a legitimate ask. I don't want to push people too much. And then we've got like Schmodown stuff going on. And some of my Schmodown players are like, I can't fucking focus on Schmodown right now, Roxy. Our rights are at risk here. And it's like, how do I ask people to do things that they, you know, when it's not like a job, it's not like you're getting just like all different things like that. Or I have interns for another company I work for and I'm asking them to do things. And it's like, is it okay to be asking interns to do things right now? Or is it not okay? Obviously, if it's like your full-time paid gig, then that's a different story. But I just am having a hard time walking the line. I wonder if you guys are as well. Shout out to my first super chat of the day, Jig Yoda, like a ninja, always sliding right in, giving that support. Really appreciate that, Jig Yoda, especially during this time. I will tell you guys that something very frustrating financially happened to the World Girls this week, which was really fucking annoying. And that was that we set up our Patreon last month. And when I set up my Patreon, it charges people when you sign up, and then it charges you the first of every month. So when you sign up, you already get that perks of that month. for World Girls, apparently they added this thing where you have to click for it to charge them when they start. So if you notice, if you're a World Girl patron, even though we provided content for all of October, it didn't charge anybody for October. So when November 1st hit, we didn't have a single dollar because it didn't charge anybody. So it only started charging people for November. So all the work that we were doing on the Patreon last month, we didn't get paid for any of that, which is so fucking frustrating that Patreon does that, because what the fuck? Like, why is that even an option? And why is that the automatic setting? So when we went to go figure out our finances this week, we lost so much fucking money that we had already used to do our next episode. So we were so fucking frustrated about that, just being completely candid with you guys, which is like, that's so shitty. So we changed that setting, and obviously for the future, it's going to be fine. But like, that sucks. It sucks that we were doing all of that and like worked so hard to make sure that we were up for last month and like delivered on all of our things. Cause you guys know I have a hard time with Patreon. There's so many deadlines and deliveries and whatever. And we've really been doing it on World Girls. And then that happened. And we were like, that was so fucking stupid and frustrating. But you know, it is what it is. Speaking of finances, let's check out what's going on in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Thank you guys for supporting me here today and all of the days. You guys are freaking phenomenal. Today, this morning at 11:57, Ryan White chimed in and said, OMG, today a fan on SEN Live pointed out that Brett on an old Collider Live show, November 13th, 2018, said he wanted to see a baby Yoda in the new Mandalorian show. Oh my God, this was episode 36 at 48 minutes, 36 second mark. What an amazing random thing that came true. Oh my God. Brett's a fortune teller, guys. Who knew? Glenn Caesar in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, right before the show started, said, hello, Roxy. Love you. Happy Thursday as always. Thanks for hanging out with us and giving us a show and place to decompress. Hope you and the rock stars have a joy-filled rest of your day as we wait for election results. Peace, love, bunnies, and hugs to all. Hashtag smash cancer. Thank you so much, Glenn. You're amazing. Josh97HD in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, just a minute ago asked, hey, Roxy, I forgot to ask the other day, what do you think of the first episode of Mandalorian if you watched it? Yeah, so today on the show, I'm going to be doing a little bit more of a TV rundown, things I've been watching. I did talk about Mandalorian on this show a little bit, and I did a spoiler review here as well, so you can check that out, but I can talk about that a bit as well, and I have a new show that I'm watching too. So all of that stuff. Also here in the super chat, Glenn Caesar for the win. Roxy, I think it depends on the ask. If it's from friends, I think they probably could be a little more relaxed about it. Work is a different story. Yeah, another shitty thing happened with the World Girls this week, which I'll tell you guys about, that I was very frustrated with as well, was that I have a friend, and it's like, you have to check yourself, because during this time, everybody's having a hard time and it's frustrating. But I have a friend who just got to town, who I like have been very, very close with since we were little kids. Like, I'm talking fourth grade BFF. And we are really close. And she is an actress, and she lived in New York all this time, and I lived in LA all this time. And she moved out to LA this week. And so I wanted to see her this week, but I didn't want to see her until she got COVID tested. And so she flew in on Sunday. And on Monday, she went and got COVID tested. So she asked if I would come pick her up because she doesn't have a car yet. And she was really far away from me, but I decided to do it anyway because I was like, okay, I really want to see her. And I want to go pick her up. And she just got COVID tested, so she's fine. So I went to go pick her up, and we had dinner together just at my place. So totally was fine and whatever. And then that was on Monday. Then on Wednesday, I was supposed to shoot in person with the World Girls, but like half an hour before we were supposed to do our shoot, I got a text message from her saying, hey, I don't feel good. And I was like, fuck. So I was like, what's going on? She was like, I got aches and chills. And I was like, shit, but you tested negative for COVID. But she had tested negative on Monday. And you guys know, like, sometimes it takes longer to show up, I guess. And so she was like, I don't think I have COVID, but like, I don't know. I've got aches and chills. And then she went and got a thermometer, and she had a fever. And so then she struck a higher fever last night, whatever. But anyway, so I get this, and I'm like, I have to tell the World Girls I can't go see them if I contracted something, which is hard because it's like I feel 100% fine, but I was with somebody who now has a fever multiple days ago. So anyway, she went and I texted the World Girls and we decided not to get together in person because even though we were supposed to do a shoot, we were like, we'll do it digitally because it's not worth the risk, which I completely agree with. And that's the decision we made. And, if you're part of a quarantine crew, you have to make sure that they stay safe. And I couldn't go get COVID tested yesterday because it would have been too early on to catch if I had it. So then anyway, she was, then she today texted me that she feels totally fine. And she thinks that it was just like jet lag from flying and that like it was a really low grade fever of like 99. And she just thinks she felt a little off. And today she felt fine. And yeah, she thinks she's totally fine. So like, and all she had were the aches and chills and the little low grade fever. So I'm like, I think that it's totally fine, but like, I just don't even know. It's so hard to gauge when you should be cautious about something, and better safe than sorry always. She had her flu shot already. And like I said, she just kind of thinks it was from like jet lag or whatever, but I'm frustrated because now we're behind on World Girl stuff. And I did that to them and I feel bad about it, but I thought I was being as safe as possible and only seeing somebody with masks and in a situation that they were, just had gotten tested, but it's just like, you never fucking know. And so this time period, man, it really shakes us all, throwing us all for a frickin' loop. It's just throwing us for a frickin' loop, or at least me. I feel like a lot of you guys as well. Let's talk about what's going on in the world. As we're talking about this, don't forget streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. If you guys have any questions, comments, and concerns that you want read out loud or right here in the super chat, every dollar means the world to me. And I really appreciate your support. If you're somebody who watches me every single day and you like what I do, and you want me to continue, I clearly have been going like 235 days in a row or something, but I really would appreciate your support in all the ways, like the video, comment, all that great stuff. Jake said I did the right thing. I know I did. And better safe than sorry, but it's like, it's just frustrating because you don't know. I'm never going to lie to somebody and not tell them the situation, but it's just like, this time period you get behind at work and whatever, and it's frustrating, and it is what it is. And they were so great and understanding about it, because obviously I didn't do anything on fucking purpose, but it's like, I really shouldn't be seeing anybody that isn't in my exact quarantine crew of just like the people I'm working with, because right now I can't afford to take off work and I can't afford for World Girls to not do that. So just a whole bunch of moments. Let's talk about the election, guys. Let's talk about the election, which is what is driving all of us right now, or at least myself, to like stay up all hours, be acting weird. I told her this too. I was like, when she started a little fever, I was like, honestly, it's probably because you haven't slept and been watching election coverage and are stressed the fuck out, which is how I feel. But here's what's going on right now, which is what you guys know. Refreshing every second to see what the counts are in Nevada, Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. Trump needs to win all 4 of those states, which is an actual possibility. It is still a possibility that Donald Trump wins this election. However, what is seeming more likely is that Joe Biden will win one of those states. Between Nevada, Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania, it seems likely that he will win one of those and therefore the election. That's something that I obviously really want to see. If you watch this channel, you probably want to see that too. But sitting here and watching those numbers fluctuate, like Pennsylvania, where it looked like Biden had no fucking shot, and now it looks like he has a small shot, and you're sitting there and you're just looking at like watching and watching as they count and refreshing and seeing and trying to figure it out, and it being too close to call. I mean, it's enough to drive a person fucking crazy. Talk to my dad. He feels like we're going to hear by tonight, and if not by tonight, then tomorrow. I don't know if that is the case, but I do know that it feels like an anxiety attack waiting to fucking happen every time I'm next. My friend Haley Matthews in the chat. I'm going to drive 59 Nevada and count myself. And then says to Nevada. Yeah, I'm going to drive to Nevada and count myself. I feel that. I saw so many TikToks of people like packing their bags and whatever. But like, I feel bad for these people too. Imagine the pressure on being the person who's counting, and imagine being exhausted, and imagine having been there this whole time, and imagine trying to do the right thing. And it's just like the stress that everybody is feeling during this, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, is like unbelievable. I mean, it's insane. It's insane to like, this waiting game is so fucking tough. To think that like, just some states are like, it's very clear. California's like, nah, we like very clearly vote for Biden, and we're allowed to count our ballots that are mailed in beforehand. And we're going to let you know very quickly what's happening here, and it's Biden. And then there are some states in our country that are just like the Michigans and the Wisconsins of the world too, that are just like, we're going to make you have a heart attack. And like, we are super fucking evenly split. And yeah, there's some wild stuff happening here too, where it's just like Trump's whole messaging is like, stop counting. But the funny thing about the stop counting is that if we stop counting right now, what he knows is that he would lose because he's behind. So stop counting means he loses. So that's why he switched his messaging to keep counting and recount. Do you guys feel like that? Do you feel like, because that's how I fucking feel. I haven't even talked much about the Senate debates on this show. Like, for example, what's going on in Georgia with both their Senate seats, both being up for grab, and feeling that stress there, because the Senate is almost equally as important as to who's going to be the president. Like, I know we're not treating it like that right now, but this is going to be a bitch depending on what the Senate is comprised of. But there's also a lot of things that we can do with the Senate. We can flip the Senate in 2 years as they're on the 6-year cycle. Not to be completely morbid, but there's a lot of elderly people in the Senate. Sometimes people die. Don't mean it like that, but just there's a lot of stuff that can happen in the Senate. But, you know, it's concerning. The whole thing is fucking concerning. The whole thing is really fucking concerning. Jimmy Mac 9588, great picture, Jimmy, says, hello from Australia. Nice to be here live again, finally. Woo woo! Finally, a day off work. Yes. Hope you're doing well through all this waiting. I've barely slept myself. Stay safe, stay strong, and rocks on. XO. It's interesting that people, because I saw a lot of my friends in England are paying such close attention. A lot of my friends in Australia are paying such close attention. It's interesting how much this election seems to not just affect the United States. It seems to affect the globe because we are one of the world leaders. So it's important to fucking everybody. And yeah, I mean, like, it's wild when, you know, I'm talking to my Grammy at fucking, you know, she was on the show yesterday. I'm talking to her at 9 a.m, and then I'm talking to her at 9 p.m. And I'm talking to my little sister, and I'm talking to her in the morning. I'm talking to her at night, and I'm talking to my brother, and we're talking in the wee hours of the night. And I'm talking to my dad, and we're talking all day, every few hours about updates. No matter what your age in my family, we're talking about this all day. It's like the only thing. And if you see the news cycle right now, entertainment news outlets don't even know what to be publishing, because, like, does it matter what Kim Kardashian had for lunch today? Like, absolutely not. Does it matter what's in Paris Hilton's closet today? Like, nobody fucking cares, because when it comes down to it, the only things we really care about right now is, like, are our queer friends going to have the right to stay married to each other? And are our Black brothers and sisters going to be able to walk down the street and not get fucking shot? Like, those things matter to us. And I don't mean to say them as like frivolously as I just said them. I mean that, like, those are fucking facts and statements that, like, that's, if you have a soul right now, a conscious, like, that's what you're fucking thinking about. You're thinking about, like, are we going to have a president who's okay with sexual assault, and not only just okay with it, but he encourages people to grab women by the pussy? Like, that's just a fucking fact of what it is. So, like, are those the things we're thinking about right now? In here, yes. But I'm watching all these sites, and they're like having a hard time figuring out what to post, because nobody fucking cares right now. Nobody fucking cares. There's real shit, and then there's that. That being said, I have needed several distractions during this time so that I don't fucking throw myself out the window, because when we thought Trump was going to win, and then all of this comeback, it's like, this is an Aaron Sorkin movie happening in real fucking life. Like, it is crazy, and watching every speech and everything. So, like I said, we will be talking about what we're doing to distract ourselves, stay safe and stay sane during this time, and all of that as well. Jimmy Mack says, also, sorry, the Aussie dollar is shit. P.S. That's me with Taylor Swift in my picture. Oh my God, that's insane. Why, Jimmy? How are you with T-Swift? See, I just said we don't care about those things, but then I really cared about that. How is Jimmy with T-Swift? Must get answers. Going to the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Bad Rabbit says, hey, Roxy, them eyebrows fire. That's all. That's the Streamlabs. Really appreciate that. I actually don't really do much to my eyebrows. I've never gotten them done. Sometimes I tweeze them a little bit, but, like, I wish they were thicker here. I want to have like really thick, bushy eyebrows, but they just won't grow more than they do, which is frustrating. I wish. Shit that we, again, don't care about right now. Rob Fishbeck in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Here is for your cookie fund. Been stress eating like crazy the last 2 days. Gone through 2 packs of cinnamon rolls myself. LOL. Hope this election is over soon. Hope everyone has a 1% better day. Me too. That 1%, baby. Just trying to have that 1% better day. Doing what we can to be that 1% happier. It's tough, though. It's tough. Yeah, I made last night after eating like 17 cookies and feeling like I was literally going to puke. I was like, I'm still hungry. So I made this unbelievable pasta sauce with steak and shrimp and onions and tomatoes and garlic, and like, it's fucking great. Just was like, okay, I'm going to make enough for like 4 servings. And I ate legitimately like almost all of it. I still have enough for lunch today though, which I will have right after this. Yeah. What are you guys thinking? Again, super chat or streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, or right here in the chat. What are you guys talking about? You're all saying yummy. What about the pasta or the cookies or what? Rob says I'm hungry now. Totally. Usually when I'm like depressed, I can't eat. When I'm anxious, I can't stop eating. Like, so much food. Are cannabis questions allowed? Dalton, always. Always. Just Streamlabs it in. I answer any and every cannabis question. I'm a massive cannabis supporter, fan, user, all the things. Yeah. The way I phrase things sometimes, it's like, what? I go, yup. All right, so what are we watching right now during this time, guys? I started watching The Queen's Gambit. Who's watching that? It's the new Netflix show. It's with Anya Taylor-Joy. It is about chess. And I got to tell you guys, I am 3 episodes in, and I don't think this was the right show for me to start watching during this time. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. The show is clearly excellent. It's clearly an excellent show. She's phenomenal. It's quirky. It's weird. It's about this female young chess prodigy who is great. It's just so slow. And during this time where I need my distractions, it's so slow. I'm on episode 4, like I said, and I just thought I was on episode 8. It's so good, and I can't recommend it enough. But I don't know if it's the right show for right now. I feel like I should have started like some comedy, something that made me laugh, something quick. So I've still been binging old episodes of New Girl, which is a show I love that always makes me smile. Yes, I'm watching Mandalorian, and that show's obviously amazing, but there's only been 1 episode so far. Murderana says chess is slow. I know. So I don't know why I did this, but I did. I finished Haunting of Bly Manor, and you guys know I did Haunting of Hill House, and then I did Bly Manor. That was excellent, and that was, even though it was a little slow too, that was spooky enough to get me through. But what I really need is like a bomb.com comedy right now. I did Schitt's Creek, I did The Office, 30 Rock, New Girl. Like, I'm just thinking about all the biggest ones that people recommend. I've done all of them. So like, I need a really great half-hour comedy, preferably on Netflix because it's the easiest for me to watch. I need that in my life. And I'm going to keep watching Queen's Gambit because it's so good, but it's just, guys, it's just like slow, super slow, just so slow. All the slow, very slow. Did I mention slow? Yeah. In the streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, Leonard Kim says the election/poll workers deserve all the praise in the world, but unfortunately won't get their recognition. That is so true. Also, in all the chaos, the spike in COVID cases are being overlooked. Do your best to not be anxious and stay sane. The hair looks great. Thanks, Leonard Kim. Yeah. I mean, COVID, what they said yesterday was the first day that we've had 100,000 cases in one day. Woof. And this is like the fucked up part, because the people who went and voted in person, I'm not anti anybody voting in person, but obviously like the people who sent it in the mail were concerned about getting COVID, so they didn't want to be in the big groups. And those are the people whose ballots are at question of being counted or not, which is fucking insane. Fucking insane. So I think that, yeah, it's being overlooked and not talked about as much right now, but it's scary. It's scary that we live in a country that has 100,000 cases in one day. Like, and that's another reason when my friend said she wasn't feeling great, I'm like, we just can't fucking risk it. We can't be part of the problem. We have to be part of the solution. Dalton Johnson in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, have been a fan of yours since back in the old Schmoes Nose Day. That's awesome. What are some of your go-to strains and how do you like to consume your cannabis? Thanks for always being awesome. Dalton, I don't as much anymore have go-to strains, which is so funny because I used to always like only Pineapple Express or Girl Scout cookies or whatever. Like I had the ones I liked, but now it kind of depends on the brands. And I've got like the types of stuff that I like. Like I love all Marley Natural products, which is Bob Marley's the brand. So I like I like the Marley Natural products. I love Bloom Farms. I love their products. I usually smoke a pen because it's the most convenient and conducive for what I do. Like wherever I am, I have multiple pens throughout my house. I live in a fucking small garage, so it's not like all throughout my house like that, but I just mean like one's in my purse and one's in my bedroom. And so I like my pens, and usually like I'll have one with a sativa, one with an indica, and one is a hybrid. And then I also, when I'm like looking to get lit city, I have a bong. Her name is Smoke Show. She's leopard print pink straight shooter, and I've been obsessed with her. I've had her for 10 years. I'll be so sad the day that she goes. Just like I'm living on borrowed time with her. I feel like who has a bong for 10 fucking years? What stoner doesn't smash that? And then my cousin Kate Miller started this company called Miss Grass, which I told you guys about. It's more of like a female lifestyle cannabis brand, but they've got an online digital component of them. They're an e-commerce shop, and like they've got an online magazine and all these amazing things, not just for women. I just say female cannabis lifestyle because there's so many things on there that'll be like about like cannabis lubrications for women and like things like that a lot of other companies aren't talking about. But they started their first THC products in stores, and they have amazing pre-rolled J's that I've been smoking like nonstop the last month. And they have a fast times and all times and a quiet times, which is just like a sativa and an indica and their 1-to-1 blend, which is CBD THC. And those are proprietary blends of a couple of different strains, and I love them and have been living for those. So hopefully that helps a little bit with my cannabis consumption. Big cannabis fan. And talk about things that have helped me get to this election. To be honest, it's just like so fucking important to me for my anxiety that like I stopped taking the Xanax the way that I used to because of my cannabis consumption, which has been so helpful. And during this time when a lot of people are getting like really drunk, I'm sitting there, maybe this is why I'm eating so many cookies, but like I get stoned, I feel a little better. It's been really great for my anxiety and just like my life. What about you guys? Seeing in here, Kate says, love my PAX 3. A lot of people love their PAX. It's a big one for a lot of people. Let's see. I do have CBD lube. Yeah, like lubrication. They make CBD lubes that people love. In my purse right here. So I usually have my Bloom pen. I have a few different pens, but that's my Bloom pen. But this is a Cresco top. Oh, Candescent is another brand that I really usually like, but this is my Cresco Sativa. And I love the Bloom pen because it's super duper easy. I'm not like a crazy cannabis snob, but this doesn't have a button on it, which I like because I always like pushing the button. Do you hold it down? Do you double click it? Whatever. So this has nothing on it, which means that I can't control the temperature of it, which I don't really care too much about, but I know a lot of people do depending on what they're burning. So yes. And actually, Dalton, as a cannabis influencer, I did have a cannabis company reach out to me recently being like, can you come pick up some stuff for us? But I couldn't go there the day that they wanted to. And I was like, can you send it to me? And they're like, we're going to see if we can. So hopefully, I mean, I would love to be in the cannabis space more. When I did that stuff for Leafly and I went around and explored the extraction facilities, I like loved that so much. It was like so fun to figure out how cannabis is extracted and like the CO2 propane butane processes and like how things were different and whatever. I just am all about learning about what's going into my body. So if you're going to smoke it, know what it is. Anyway, great question. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Ryan White in here says, I can't remember if you already watched the show or not, but I highly recommend Arrested Development, season 1 through 3. Pretty sure it's on Netflix. I know you like Curb, so you should like this. Yeah, I loved Arrested Development. I actually covered it for Afterwards TV. I watched every season. I even liked the later seasons that other people didn't like. So, yeah, loved it. Love that show. Love Curb. Love. Need more Rex, friends. Glenn Caesar in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer said, you're going to do non-spoiler reviews of Mando season 2 episodes here on Fridays and then spoiler reviews on your Patreon sometime later, right, Roxy? Yeah, I think that's what my plan is. I think Fridays, so it comes out Thursday nights. Yeah, as long as I'm able to watch them, that's what I'm going to do. I just don't know the exact schedule on when yet, but that is what it seems like. And I did go live on my Patreon this week for election coverage stuff because I just didn't want you guys to be alone. So I'm planning on just popping in more. And I'll probably do my spoiler reviews for Mando live with you guys too, so we can kind of have more of a conversation about it. Yeah. So that's my intention. You guys know that I always like just break into random songs. That comes from Grammy. Glad you guys were able to speak to her yesterday. She's the fucking shit. Haley says Girlfriends is really funny. Insecure draws a lot from it. I've seen all of Girlfriends and I love Girlfriends, and I've seen all of Insecure and I love Insecure. My problem is I've watched too much, I guess. But I will say I haven't seen Girlfriends since in years, and I know that it's on Netflix now, so that might be fun to like go back and re-binge. So yeah, let's see. What are you guys talking about in here? How are we distracting ourselves and can I speak? Just wondering. Staying sane during this election time. Are you guys just completely glued to the TV, or are you watching shit or glued to the election coverage, or are you watching things? I also found myself listening to a ton of music recently, like things that I used to love back in the day, like Dashboard Confessional, or like I put on my story the other day, like a Cold War Kids song, which is awesome, or Ben Folds, or anything from just like my high school days, the glory days, guys. I'm not really living in the past, but it is fun to revisit that music. May says, try Anime Roxy. You'd enjoy One Punch Man. I don't know why I'm not as gung-ho about anime. Deftones for sure, says Rhythm Code. Yes. Feel that. So much music. And like I'm watching TV and then I like have to go do work. So then I speak to my, I don't want to say her name too loud because she's right here and she can be bitchy, but just like she's been on one recently, which is really nice. Yeah, although I used to be able to tell her to play certain songs, and I think that was linked to like, I don't know. I used to be able to tell her to play certain songs, and I think that used to be linked to like an account of Ben's or something. I don't even know how to get it back though. But it must be gone or some shit because I can't even tell her. I can't even give her requests anymore, which is super frustrating. But I don't know how to link it up. Richard Okotoro says, hey, Roxy, big fan, Miss Glider Live days. Thanks, friend. What movie were you most looking forward to this year that got delayed? Wishing you the absolute best. Pray everything works out. Stay safe. Probably Wonder Woman. I just was looking forward to it so much. I mean, it's still technically supposed to be this year, but I doubt it. And yeah, I just loved the first one. I love Gal Gadot. I love Patty Jenkins. I think that they're such an awesome team. It's like got my whole heart and soul, and I need movies like that in my life. So it's probably the case. But I don't know. I'm sure there would have been some like crazy indie that I loved that I'm never going to get to see now or something like that, which is sad to think about. In the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, Hitman Hudson says, glad to see you're watching The Queen's Gambit. I was surprised to hear it was based on a novel. Thought initially it was based on a true story. If you could play any historical figure, who would it be? Also, comedy wreck, The Mary Tyler Moore Show. I've seen The Mary Tyler Moore Show. What an old school wreck that is. It's really funny. I don't think it holds up the way that it probably would have played at the time. I think I Love Lucy holds up a lot more, but she's a freaking comedic genius. Both of them are. And then when it comes to who I would play if I was a historical figure, I don't know. Who do you guys think? Let me know. Does Drew Barrymore count as a historical figure? Because her. Oh, I want to meet her so bad one day. And talk out of the side of my mouth to her. Just like be her twin. Much love to her forever. I think you mean like a queen or somebody, though. I'm not sure. Garth Harkness McMurray in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar says, RJ, TV show comedies I recommend on Netflix. The IT Crowd, I haven't seen that. Chappelle Show, that I've seen. The Guild with Brett Sheridan, I haven't seen that. F is for Family. I started it, but that's the animated one, right? I don't do as well with animated. The Good Place, I've seen that. Extras, seen that. Crashing with Phoebe Waller-Bridge, have not seen that and have heard good things. And Wet Hot American Summer First Day of Camp, watched half of that. Okay. Maybe Crashing with Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Has anybody else seen it? What do you guys think? Let me know. Mostly because I'm exhausted and I got to film something else in about 15 minutes. I'm probably going to head out soon. So get in your last minute questions, comments, concerns. By the time we are on air tomorrow, we very well might have the announcement of who the president of the United States is going to be. That would be wild. I'm really hoping for that. And also, oh, you guys are saying the IT crowd. That's how you say it, right? Not the it crowd, or is it the it crowd? It's a sexy rom-com, so I like Crashing, says Garth McMurray. Interesting. Okay. Haley says start a Real Housewives franchise. I don't know. I do like to rock the high-low, but that's a whole commitment. They have like 50 seasons. Ace Money in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Hey, Roxy, did you catch RB3 on SCN yesterday doing karaoke? He did WAP. It was amazing. Treat yourself. No, somebody tagged me in that, though, so I will have to go look at it. Oh, you're the worst, says Jig Yoda. I've heard a lot of good things about that. Okay, it seems like the IT crowd is what you guys are really repping right now, though. Huh. Okay. Maybe I'll try an episode. I'm going to finish Queen's Gambit. It's just like, it's really good prestige television, but I like need a little more like ha 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 during this time. Yeah, that's how I feel. All right, guys, keep listening to that old school music, whatever it is that brings you back to a time in which you were a little bit more at peace, or just makes you feel kind of good. Do what you got to do to get through these days. Bake those cookies, eat that pasta. It might be helpful to get a little bit of outdoor time, maybe a little bit of a walk, something like that. Stay sane as much as you can. Make your bed. Don't forget to do that. It really makes a difference. Jake, I know you haven't been doing it. I can just tell. Put the toilet seat down. We don't want those plumes fucking flowing about. We know. The more you know, now that we know, we can't pretend to unknow. So a lot of life lessons here on Live at the Roxy, Can't even help it. I'm just like a walking billboard for random fucking shit that I've learned that I pass on to you guys. Jake says, you don't know my life. Laugh my ass off. I do, Jake. Yes, I totally do. I'll be back here, like I said, 1 p.m. Live at the Roxy tomorrow. If we have a winner, I think Natalia will be joining me. If not, she'll be coming on once we do know more. And yeah, that's kind of what I got for you guys right now. If you're watching this live or after the fact, leave that thumbs up, leave that comment. I noticed that we lost 200 subscribers last month. Like the only channel that's still not growing and shrinking instead. Motherfuckers. Leave a Streamlabs. I'll read it tomorrow on the show. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Just show that support however you can. Much love, my friends. Come hell or high water, we'll still be here tomorrow. So, 'tis what it is. Hi. Peace, babes.